So we're finally in January, which means one thing. We can actually get some players in to the squad. Hello and welcome back to the Lincoln Loco. Today, 2 games for you. We're at home to Arsenal and then away to Crystal Palace, both in the Premier League. And things have been doing pretty well since you were last here, actually. We had a bit of a change in fortunes. We'll look at the fixture list here. As you can see, a big change in fortunes. Last time you were here, we lost to West Brom and we lost to Man United 3-0 and 3-1 respectively. After that, we lost 4-0 to Tottenham and then 2-1 to Chelsea. So it was a real bad run of form that from Sunderland down, really poor. However, our luck did change. We down to 19th at this point, so we played Birmingham, who were in 20th, bottom of the table, which we beat Birmingham 3-1. Burnley were then also in the relegation zone, I think, so we beat them 3-2. It was a very tight game, but we managed to get the upper hand against them, which was great. We then played Leicester, who were about 15th, 16th at the time, so again, another low-down club, and we scraped a 1-0 win there. I think we did pretty well. I can't remember what the stats were on this. I think it was pretty even. If we can see analysis, yeah, I mean, I say pretty even actually. They were the team on top. We just did better than them, managing to get the win. We had a 0-0 draw against Bournemouth and then followed up with a 1-0 win against Birmingham in the FA Cup. So that was pretty good. We've now gone 5 games unbeaten, including one in the Cup, I suppose. But it's been pretty good for us since that awful run of form there against some really top teams, to be fair. We were unlucky with the list there. You know, a lot of those top teams right at the same time, so that was a bit unfortunate. But fortunately, I guess we played a lot of the bottom teams at the same time as well, which has really recovered our morale and our league position as well. So we were right down at 19th, but we now find ourselves sitting in 14th, a whole 8 points clear of Sunderland in 18th. So as I say, like Birmingham and Burnley were down in the relegation zone, Leicester are down there as well. So it's a decent run of form we had against some teams that we should be beating if we want survival. These are the teams we have to be beating if we want survival. Now, of course, it is January, 14th of January, and we have made some signings. However, we can't use them all, and that's kind of my fault. It's not my fault. Well, it is my fault. I'll explain it in a minute. So if we look here, we've made 4 more signings since you were last here, all for pretty good prices, to be fair, if we look at that. The first guy we'll look at is Rabbi Matondo from Man City. Crucially, we needed a right-sided winger because we only had Lukasic, who's League 2 quality. But this guy came in for just over £1 million on that right-hand side, 22-year-old Englishman, 3.5-star current ability, 4-star potential. He's a good player. He will play very well for us, I think, this season. He's made 1 appearance so far in the Birmingham game and got the goal in the Birmingham game. We played wingers that game to see what happened. It says Championship current ability, but we'll ignore that basically. He's going to be a good Premier League player very soon, so that's fine by me. Played his whole career actually he started at Cardiff, but has played his career at Man City, but never broke into their first team. He's been on loan to a lot of places, including America. So he's good enough for the MLS, so he should be good enough for a lower league Premier team like us, basically. Either way, he's come in on that right hand side, so he's another player to bolster the ranks there. This guy came in, Fouaz Debois. I'll probably butcher that completely, but a young Algerian chap, already made international appearances, which is quite good at 19 years old, 2-star current ability, however, crucially, 5-star potential, which is fantastic. He's currently finding himself out on loan at Coventry right now, so he may join the team next season if he gets good enough, but I think next season will also be on loan in the Championship somewhere. But he's an exciting prospect for the future, so I'm looking forward to him. Only for £230,000 as well, and considering that he's now worth double that, I'm happy with that. Well, actually, to be fair, he's actually meant to be a winger as his full green, but can play anywhere up front, basically, and anywhere on that left wing, basically, because he's an inside forward as well. So, what even better signing, basically, an even better signing. We then come to 2 players that we just can't play. We'll start with this guy, Kobayashi. Comes in from Japan, 19 caps, 1 goal, and I'm thinking, we can get a work permit for him easily. As you can see, 3-star current, 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential, very nice. Central defender, an area we need to strengthen a little bit. And I think he's got all his caps, 19 years old. He's easily going to get a work permit. Well, it turns out he can't. We signed him anyway because I thought we can get a work permit later on. But apparently, from what I can make out, they're 84th in the world rankings. And if we go to the Premier League and we have a look at the rules here, we have to go down to, where is it? Work permit rules. I don't think we can actually sign players if they're from a country that is below 50th in the world rankings. So we've signed 2 Japanese players. The other guy's a Japanese player as well. We've signed 2 of them for quite cheap deals, but I don't think we're ever going to be able to use them unless they get into the world top 50. In the meantime, though, because he can't play, I'd like to get him on loan somewhere, but no one wants him on loan. So that's an issue as well. Because I want to get him playing games, obviously, otherwise he's going to go down. That 5-star potential is never going to be realised. However, no one wants him on loan, unfortunately. Not even Hiroshima wanted him back on loan, which is a bit annoying. We'll offer him to clubs once again, out on loan. We'll even put him as rotation, actually, now, I think, and offer him back to clubs, and hopefully that someone will come in for him. Which brings us on to Sakamoto. Another Japanese midfielder this time, though, but look at all that green. I mean, I love how versatile he is. Deep line playmaker, central midfielder, advanced playmaker, Carrillo, which also means he could probably do box-to-box midfielder fairly well as well, so we could get him training there. But again, 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential, played an awful lot Japanese capped at 20 years old. Again, he can't play because he's not got a work permit, so we're going to offer him out on loan as well, just to see if we can get some game time for him, and hope that one day, perhaps, Japan will get into the top 50. This is the side then that is going to be taking on Arsenal today. We're trying the winger system again today. I know it's not been... I mean, it's worth saying, actually, that all these games from Sunderland down were using the diamond formation, I think. I think the odd game, I think the Man City game we played with 5 at the back. Perhaps Liverpool played 5 at the back too. But most of those games were with a diamond system. The FA Cup game was with wingers and we won. So I'm going to try wingers again against Arsenal. They're a mid-table side. They're mediocre, basically. They're not very good. If you've got a friend who's an Arsenal fan, send them this video just so they can see how rubbish Arsenal are, basically, in a couple of years' time. This, though, is the side that we're going to be using to take them on today. So Darlow in goal, a pretty usual back four. Gersbach, Williams and Valerie. Jurgensen's come in because Garcia, the £9 million man, is not playing particularly well. Coyle, De Silva and Mount link up in the middle, although no one can play very well with Mount, so Byers may come in. In fact, I reckon we do bring Byers in for this game, actually, make him a deep line playmaker, because we're playing more counter formation, so... And these guys play a lot better together than they do with Mason Mount. Yu and the new guy Matondo on the wings, and then Chumma is going to be starting up front for us today. So kickoff is upon us. Earlier on this season, we got a decent 2-2 draw with Arsenal. We took the lead twice in that game, so that was pretty cool. And Yeo, very early on in this game, could have put the right in the lead right from the off there. Of course, we're still looking out for a left back. We did have one ready to sign from Everton. I can't remember his name, but he's Costa Rican. And because of that, he couldn't get his work permit, despite already playing in the UK, which I found very, very weird. So, unfortunately for us, we couldn't sign a left back that we wanted. So we're still on the hunt for a left back, but it's not looking too fruitful right now, as no one really wants to join us, apart from those 2 Japanese guys that can't actually play, which again, very, very frustrating. However, Matondo coming forward now, he had all the time in the world to swing across into the far post where Yeo was waiting on his own. And yet he takes a shot. Well, Arsenal definitely having the better of the chances today, but as things stand, they do move down to 10th because we're drawing, whereas we stay 14th. A win today would be good, take us up to 13th, and does put us even more points clear. We'll put us 10 points clear of that relegation zone if we do get that win. The past week or so, the past few weeks, and the good run of form has really, really helped with that. So for a few moments after that big run of bad form, we down in 19th, I did think, are we actually going to get relegated this season? But my faith has been restored in those good run of results. And actually, as Chumma comes forward now, this good run could continue, but his ball sails wide of the mark, unfortunately. I mean, to be fair, anything but a loss here today, I reckon, is a good result. I'd take a draw against Arsenal, so the good run of form would still continue, I reckon. We've got a corner now right at the end of this first half. Yeo puts it in onto Roshawn Williams' head, but it's been cleared away, unfortunately. De Silva to Matondo, in through to Roshawn Williams, and Roshawn Williams, with literally 5 seconds on the clock left of this first half, has put us 1-0 up against the Gunners. Can you believe that? That is, I mean, Arsenal are having an absolutely woeful season. They're managed by Roberto Mancini now because Arsene Wenger decided to take the France job, so he's now manager of France. All we need to do in this game then, basically, for the second half is just sit back and not invite pressure, but just play good, sensible, safe, defensive football, and we will take home the 3 points today, which would be fantastic. We've now got a free kick which goes all the way through, almost to Matondo, actually, but the ball wasn't quite good enough. Now Arsenal trying to clear their lines as they come forward with the ball. This is not looking too good for us, actually, because they're actually moving around fairly nicely. We've got a lot of players there, but De Silva makes a big tackle there, actually. They had a lot of players up there that could have sprung a counter-attack. Rob Holding wins his ball back, and now Arsenal comes straight back against us now. Mkhitaryan, who's obviously just signed for Arsenal in real life yesterday, or perhaps the day before when you're watching this. I can't remember which day you're going to be watching this now, but I'm recording this on a Tuesday. He signed on the Monday, I think, for Arsenal, as Sanchez went to Manchester United. But it doesn't matter too much. I've blabbered on about Mkhitaryan, and Arsenal missed their chance there. So, again, they're squandering efforts whilst we maintain our 1-goal lead right now. You see, the past few games have made me think, do we actually need a good left-back? But I've been lulled into a false sense of security. Yes, we do need a new left-back, and actually, we need new players everywhere, basically. We need a whole new starting 11 that are just that next step up, basically, to try and get us further on in the table. Again, in this season, I think our reputation should be good enough to try and attract some of those better players, but at the same time, it's going to be a long process before we can ever come close to trying to challenge for the Premier League title, as far as I'm aware. So we don't have to worry about that too much. We'll just worry about survival this season and try and do a good FA Cup run as well. We've got like MK Dons. They've just gone to score an equaliser. That is unlucky. As I was saying there, we've got like MK Dons in the 4th round who are in the bottom of League One, so that should be an easy win to get into the 5th round. So we could have a decent FA Cup run this season like I wanted. I think we do bring Mason Mount on, and we make him an advanced playmaker. We want to try and get the win here today now. I think we've been in charge of this game a fair amount. We'll go flexible. In terms of team instructions, we will take off stick to positions and use tighter marking. We'll play a little bit of a higher tempo and look to work the ball into the box. I think we'll try and do that maybe. And who else do we want to bring on? We'll give Garcia a run, although the defence has been playing pretty well so far. So I think we'll leave it as it is for now. We may bring Coyle off later on and bring on Dragomir as attacking midfielder. But right now, I'm fairly happy with how things are going. Rashawn Williams has picked up a quite a nasty injury there by the looks of things. He had to come off the pitch. We'll bring Garcia on, obviously. Defensive centre-back on defend. That'd be good for me. What kind of injury has he got? Potential foot injury. That's not good. We'll say get creative these last 5 minutes as well. Hopefully that will just inspire the boys for that little bit of extra spark to try and grab a goal. But I don't think anything's going to happen now as we come into injury time. I'm very concerned about Rashawn Williams. He's a key player for us this season. Obviously played very well today, scored his goal, but that is going to be a big blow. We need to get another defender, and if that's the case, because we've only got with 2, we would have had 3 if we get work permits, but unfortunately, work permits, I just can't work them out, basically. And there we go, Lincoln 1, Arsenal 1. That is a decent result. We will definitely take that. 2 to 3 weeks with a pulled ankle ligament. That's not too bad then. I was thinking it was going to be a broken foot or something like that, but if it's only a pulled ligament for 2 or 3 weeks, that's fine by me, basically. No offers come in for those Japanese chaps, which is annoying, really. I mean, they can play them in the 23s, but it's in the 23s. It's not a Premier League game, what they are suited to. So they're on duty now with Japan in the Asian Cup. So, I mean, a 1-1 draw with Jordan, not particularly good there, is it? If they can just get wins against Vietnam, Palestine, and then maybe get to the final, then that would be pretty nice. That'd be good. Maybe that will get in the top 50 then. Southampton have accepted a £3.4 million offer for Pierre-Emile Holberg. However, he wants £94,000 a week, which is not going to happen. So, unfortunately, Holberg not signing for Lincoln. We also had a deal to sign this guy. He's come for the scout reports again, Paulo Silva, for £60,000, 4-star current ability. However, you've already guessed it, no international caps for the senior team, so he can't get the work permit, unfortunately. We'll approach to sign him, though, for example, although he didn't want to do that right now because he had to cancel the contract because he couldn't sign for us, basically, and it was a bit of a waste. And again, another work permit has been turned down. This time, it's a really good player. Another central midfielder, French, 20 years old, currently good to play in the Premier League, 4-star current ability. However, hasn't made any French caps for a senior team. So, unfortunately, he's going to be in a free transfer as well, which makes you think, do I accept it anyway and just take him? So, actually, I reckon we're going to do that. Let's take him. All right, he's joining at the end of the season, which means that he's got the rest of the season to play regular football and break into that French first team, and then he can then sign for us and get his work permit. Fingers crossed that might work. I mean, we'll have to wait and see, I suppose, but it's a bit of a risk actually doing that. Worst comes to worst, we can send him out on loan and get someone to pay his wages for him, because he's a very, very good player and will play in any top division, in any European league. But ideally, we want him playing for us. And here is someone else joining the club. Brahim Diaz is ready to join from Man City for £625,000. We've done a lot of good deals with Man City, I think, for these young players. This guy is going to come in, though, supposedly as a good championship player. We may try and send him out on loan for the rest of the season, but has a great potential for the future. So we'll see if the scouts were actually accurate, because we've seen a few times this season where they've been very, very inaccurate with what they have said. Is his report was saying it's still the same. Fantastic. It's still the same. I love that. Straight away then, offer to clubs on loan for, if you could pay 100% of his wages, that would be fantastic as well, actually. That would be really good. Let's offer him out to clubs in the Championship and see what happens. Right, well, tactical dilemma for the Crystal Palace game. They're sitting just one place below us in the league and we've got better form. Do we stick with the wingers or do we go to the diamond, which is a bit more attacking? I'll tell you what, I think we go diamond. We're going to bring on then Sergio Aguero, wherever he is. He can come on as a trequartista. We'll also bring on Vlad Dragomir, of course. And, of course, Ruben Garcia's got to come on for Sean Williams because he's injured. So we'll make him a defensive centre-back on cover. And then who comes onto the bench? It's got to be... I mean, God's sake, there's no one there really, is there? We can bring on... I mean, it's got to be like Joe Edwards, for example. But they played him in the 23s yesterday. Obi Laurie didn't because he's just come back from an injury. So actually, we'll play him instead of Aguero. And we'll bring Aguero onto the bench for Yeo, I think. And we'll make Obi Laurie a target man. And there we go. That is how this lineup is going to look like. Right, kickoff is upon us then, and hopefully we're going to be getting the 3 points against Crystal Palace today. A team that we need to be beating if we do want survival this season. If we scroll back down here, as you can see, they're below us by a single point. So they're a team that are a rival of ours, basically, as George Byers gets himself tackled in the area, but it's passed around Chummer. Chummer puts it in the back of the net 4 minutes into this game, assisted by Obi Laurie, who's been out injured for the past 2 months, basically. He had his injury. I think you may have seen it, I'm not sure, but he got injured, then came back and then got injured straight away again, as literally 2 minutes later Crystal Palace have gone and equalised. So unfortunate, but there's still 85 minutes in this game for us to go and grab a couple more goals, basically. But as I was saying, Crystal Palace are also going to be fighting for survival this season, and they've now gone 2-1 up. I mean, this has been an eventful first 10 minutes, but not quite the eventful kind that I would have wanted it to be. As I was saying, though, we do need to try and beat the teams around us, and Crystal Palace definitely a side that are going to be battling against relegation with us this season. So we need to be beating them if we want to try and do something. I thought Chummer was going to get a decent goal. I thought he was going to snatch on the end of that ball, but he didn't, and Crystal Palace start to come forward now. Crystal Palace, of course, a team that I know all about. I managed them on FM 17 on the channel, so if you've been a long time subscriber, you'll have known that. In fact, I think we're in like 2023 now. I think in that journeyman save, it was 2021 or 2022 that I moved from Crystal Palace to Roma. So that was a big move, actually. So technically, this is right just after I left, really, basically. So they've fallen apart completely because I took him to the Europa League, basically. That's where I've got them to. However, they start to come forward again now as Helder Costa gets past his man, can put a cross in the middle onto the head of Calvert-Lewin. It makes it 3-1 to them. 15 minutes. This has been pretty eventful, and quite frankly, I wish I'd stay with wingers right now, because perhaps we're doing a bit better. Chummer has just been put forward by the defence. He's one-on-one with the goalkeeper, but that was possibly one of the worst shots I've ever seen him take. That was really, really poor, actually, from Chummer. We need to be doing much better than this if we want to be avoiding relegation. It's not that we've been playing badly. We've had a few defensive mistakes. That's been the main issue there, I think. And, of course, if Chummer's taken shots like that, which were just awful, then relegation is always going to be on the cards for us unless we do improve defensively and attacking. Oh yeah, we do need a new left back. Gur's back on a 5.9 currently. He's so crap. Honestly, he's not that far below Premier League level, and yet he is possibly the worst player that has ever played in a Lincoln shirt for me on this save. He's only playing because the other left back is League One quality. I know we should give him a chance perhaps, but I just don't want to risk it, basically, despite us risking Vladimir. I don't know why Alore didn't shoot there. He passes to Chummer at a much worse angle to score there. Chummer could have put it either side of the goalkeeper and scored. I mean, Alore could have done that, but he passes to Chummer, who, once again, fluffed his lines and didn't score the goal for us. Now, Crystal Palace have a chance to come forward once again. If they get a fourth here, and it's game over basically. It's game over if they get a fourth. Gersbach makes a decent tackle, but literally gave it to their man straight away, who put the ball in, and now Helder Costa makes it 4-1, and we're bloody losing this game, aren't we? Well, De Silva's played rubbish, so we'll have to bring him up there. We'll bring Mount on for Byers. We'll bring Alore out to the wing there. This is when I realised that I don't actually have enough wingers on the pitch, on the bench rather. Can Aguero play there? Inside forward? I guess so. Can Chuma play there? No. Can Dragomir play there? No. It's got to be Aguero on that side, I'm afraid. And even he's not that good on the wing. So we'll try that, see if that makes a difference. But I don't think we're going to be getting 3 goals in this game now as Dragomir tries to put his ball forward, but he just was a poor pass. We've literally been so poor today, and perhaps winger is the way to go now rather than this diamond formation. Perhaps the wingers formation is what we should be doing now. Crystal Palace now trying to come forward once again, but we've made a tackle, but then Fry wins the ball back, and now we win the ball back, and it's just backwards and forwards in this midfield. It's really frustrating football this from us, and if that's what the highlight's for, why are you showing me it? Why are you showing me that highlight when we're just shooting so far wide? Mount's free kick put into the area, once again headed away. We're just not doing anything, and now, I tell you what, if Crystal Palace score from this as they're coming through, look at how many men they've got out wide. If they score from this, Gersbach, ridiculously out of position, but somehow manages to make the tackle and clears his lines. Actually, that's the first good thing he's done all day, I think. But now he's out of position. Look, and now Arnautovic can go. Oh, Gersbach. Oh, there we go. He's back to his usual shit self, losing the ball like that. But we've retained possession as Aguero now puts the ball through to Chuma once again. Don't mess us up again, Chuma. He's finally scored another goal. He's got 2 goals today, to be fair to him, but he's finally got another one back. Helder Costa, who's run as ragged today, is now running up this left-hand side of the pitch, getting past his men. Makes a great ball through, but actually Mason Mount makes a good tackle there. Dragomir coming forward with the ball now through to Chuma, but Chuma can't get there. This is frustrating to watch, and we've lost the game. Oh, that was such a bad performance. I'm unhappy with that result. Very, very unhappy. We should have done so much better there, but we just was stupid, basically. It's not all doom and gloom, though. We still sit 15th. We still sit 8 points clear of the relegation zone, so things are looking pretty good for us. We're over halfway through the season now, so that's also a good sign. If we're over halfway through the season and still not in that relegation zone, then it's probably a good sign that we're not going to get relegated. But Crystal Palace are a team we should be beating, and unfortunately, we've not done it today. I reckon next time out then we'll probably do Stoke and Liverpool. That's probably going to be the next episode. We got a decent draw against Liverpool earlier on the season. Stoke, I feel like we may have lost to... We lost 5-2 to Stoke earlier on the season. So we'll do Stoke and Liverpool next time out. And hopefully get better results than we did against Crystal Palace. Thank you very much for watching today's episode. If you have enjoyed it, please do drop a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And I'll see you next time for some more Lincoln Loco.